It was an ordinary day when citizens boarded Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. No one would have suspected that the plane would disappear. On March 8, 2014, the boarding went smoothly. People got into the airport, boarded the plane, took their seats, and got ready for the flight from Malaysia to China. Everything went smoothly. Nothing was wrong. It couldn't have been seen coming. I've heard about the disappearance of Malaysia Flight 370. It caused discomfort and unease amongst the people due to the abnormality of this case. The Malaysia flight departed from Kuala Lumpur, with the destination being Beijing. The only problem was that the plane never arrived at its destination. Families were devastated, broken, and left with scars that will never heal. Mothers waiting for their son, couples getting back from vacation, and parents returning home to see their children, the excitement to see their family, and perhaps feeling a little sad from leaving their vacation, but happy memories were made. Yet those feelings will all end in sadness as the flight completely vanished off the radar. The first officer, 27-year-old Fahi Hamid, was one training flight away from obtaining full certification, and this was the one. Imagine the joy the pilot had, the big day, finally getting that certification, but sadly, he never got to experience it. The pilot in command, 53-year-old Zahari Hamid Shah, was in charge of the plane. The first 40 minutes was nothing short of perfection. Everything was alright, but then, at around 1:19 a.m., soon crossing the Vietnamese airspace, the plane disappeared from the radar. The following attempts to contact the plane was unsuccessful, and the plane officially disappeared. The mysterious circumstances caused people to search for the plane, but was never found, and countless theories began surfacing up on what exactly happened on this mysterious day.
Although largely a mystery, the likelihood of the flight's disappearance being a suicide crash is also fairly high. The pilot in control of the flight, known as Sahari Ahmad Shah, could have very easily shut off the radars and crashed the plane on purpose. It is rumored, and very possible, that he successfully locked out his co-pilot from the control room and crashed the plane somewhere into the ocean. The whereabouts of the plane are still unknown to this day. Many believe that the pilot was going through marital issues and may have been struggling at the time without the help of others. There are a few other factors that may prove this case to be a suicide crash. One being the fact that deliberate actions were taken to steer the plane off course and then to shut down the communication systems, known as ACARs. Another factor was the lack of danger or distress calls. If the crash had been a typical emergency, the pilot would have sent signals back to the ground. One final yet very disturbing factor that helps prove this theory is the discovery of a flight simulator in the pilot's home. It contained a flight path very similar to Flight 370. These factors have likely led to the disappearance of Flight 370. Although a mass murder-suicide crash is rather extreme, it is very possible and may have been what happened back in 2014.
It is possible that the government tried to cover up this case by telling the media that the plane crashed into the ocean and the authorities were trying their best to find the missing vehicle. But the people knew better. How could a plane just vanish from thin air? How did 227 passengers' bodies go missing if it fell into the ocean? Theories started surfacing on the internet as confusion riled up amongst the people. One of the theories talked about how aliens were involved with this case, which primarily seems far-fetched, but the people had their reasonings. They claimed that aliens have snatched the vehicles from the sky, erasing its existence from the radar and abducting all the passengers at once. Evidence they used for such theory included the ringing of cell phones for multiple days past the disappearance. This alien abduction theory would create gaps within the claims made by the government, considering how no aircraft pieces or bodies were found floating amidst the water the plane had supposedly crashed into. To add on, a man claimed to have received a voice message from an unknown source that sounded like Morse code. It told him that it's a dire situation to evacuate everyone because they are not human. Chaos erupted soon after this information was revealed, leading many to believe that it truly was aliens that caused the disappearance of the flight, and someone or something has sent a message beforehand to warn us. Although some believed that aliens were the reason for this missing flight, others thought otherwise. They believed this was an act of man instead of otherworldly beings. Some say that the Malaysian government hid the truth about the plane, and it was instead shot down by said government. A private investigator called Noel believes that the plane was hijacked in Kuala Lumpur, so when the radar showed that the plane was turning back towards the Malaysian capital's Petronas Twin Towers, Malaysian authorities feared this would be another replay of what happened on September 11th. They went into a panic and fired a warning shot at the plane in order to get it to turn around. But instead of what they anticipated, their plan backfired and the warning shot hit the jet, accidentally killing all members on the vehicle and bringing it down. The man responsible for calling the shots was the Prime Minister of Malaysia, and if it was found that he was responsible for so many deaths, it would stir up trouble amongst the countries due to the fact that most of the passengers were from China, a major trading partner to Malaysia. For the government may have covered up their mistakes in order to prevent being blamed on the backlash that came with it. Noel claimed that the search for the plane was delayed due to this cover-up, hindering the attempts to find the remains of the plane when it was still intact. The Prime Minister didn't want the search to be widened as they would reveal the truth behind the accidental shooting if the wreckage showed signs of the aircraft being shot.
After all the conspiracy, a simpler possibility could explain what happened to the flight, which is the plane malfunctioning. The plane most likely crashed in the Indian Ocean, where debris confirmed or believed to be from the flight washed up on the shores of both Tanzania, Mozambique, South Africa, and Madagascar. The scattered debris washing up on the shores of different countries suggests the plane crashed due to a malfunction that happened while the plane was in flight, taking the lives of everyone on the plane. Still, a report from the Malaysian government said that no record of a malfunction or defect in the plane has been found, adding more mystery to why the plane would suddenly crash. If the plane didn't malfunction, then what happened? Leading to endless conspiracy theories surfacing to possibly explain why the plane disappeared, like pilot suicide, alien abduction, government cover-up, and hijacking. Even after 9 years, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 still hasn't been solved, and nobody knows exactly what happened. With the lack of solid evidence after all these years, the confusion surrounding the flight may never be solved and will likely continue to be a mystery. Thank you for listening, and here are our sources.